Off-page SEO link building. In this section, I'm going to cover what are backlinks and exactly how important they are. I'm going to cover what is anchor text and explain exactly why it plays a crucial role in your link building campaign. I'm also going to show you how you can find out what backlinks your website already has. I'm going to show you how you can determine what makes a good backlink. I'm going to cover do follow versus no follow backlinks. And I'm also going to show you tons of methods you can utilize to build high quality backlinks to your website. This section is personally my favorite, so let's dive into it. What is a backlink? A backlink, often referred to as a link, is a mention of your website on an external website. From the screenshot below, you can see that website A links to website B. As a result, site A has an external link to site B, and site B has a backlink from site A. Quite simple. So now you know what a backlink is, let's find out exactly why they're important. If we go back to our car analogy, you'll remember me saying that on-page SEO is the car's wheels and the chassis, where off-page SEO would be the car's engine. So let's imagine we've done on-page to perfection, and we have the best wheels in the car and the strongest chassis and so on and so on. If we was now to put in an old engine from 100 years ago, we obviously wouldn't get the best results. The car, for example, it might keep running into issues, or even worse, it might fail to start. This is why backlinks are super important. Typically, on-page SEO isn't enough to get you to page 1. However, what on-page SEO does do is provide you with a really strong foundation which you can then build upon. A backlink represents a vote of confidence from one site to another. In essence, backlinks to your website are a signal to Google that others vouch for your content. SEMrush carried out a test in July 2017 which measured the biggest ranking factors in Google's algorithm. As you'll see from the image below, the fifth biggest factor was referring domains, which essentially means the amount of links you have from unique websites, aka backlinks. And if you actually look below that, you also see backlinks is right under referring domains in position 6. In short, backlinks are huge and can really push a site higher up in Google. However, like anything, with great power comes great responsibility, and doing too much or too many backlinks can do a lot of harm for your website. This is especially true if they're low quality backlinks. Here's an example of a backlink in the real world. I'm currently on a website called Design Our Fix, and I'm reading one of the blog posts which talks about the top reasons to go for a responsive web design. If you look closely in the second paragraph, you can see there's actually a link to a website called Made Simple Media, who just happens to be our client. So if we give this a click, you will see it will link to our client website, Made Simple Media, who by the way is actually a web design agency here in the UK. So just to summarize, Design Our Fix now links to Made Simple Media, and as a result, Design Our Fix is giving Made Simple Media a vote of confidence. So Google can actually see this vote of confidence and this backlink, and they'll take that into consideration when ranking Made Simple Media in Google for the keywords they're targeting. And as you already know, backlinks are super powerful and have a massive influence on where you rank in Google. In the next video, I'm going to go over anchor text, which is essentially the clickable text you see within a backlink. I'll see you there. What is anchor text? Anchor text refers to the clickable words used to link one web page to another. The color of the text is usually blue as it's an actual hyperlink. However, the text can be whatever color the website owner chooses, and sometimes it's dependent on what theme they're using. If you go back to the example of the link we had for Made Simple Media, you will see in this scenario the anchor text the website uses is the brand name, Made Simple Media, as that's the actual clickable text. Not the words before, not the words after, it's simply Made Simple Media. So why is anchor text important? SEO best practices dictate that anchor text should be relevant to the page you're linking to rather than generic. Google can actually read this anchor text and they take it into consideration when ranking a website. For example, if you link to a website with the anchor text blue hat, then Google is going to assume the page you're linking to has some relation to blue hats. As you can imagine, there are different types of anchor text you can use when linking to a web page. In fact, there's 5 in total. If we take Made Simple Media's homepage as an example, we can link to their page using 5 different anchors in total. And just to remind you, Made Simple Media is a web design agency. So the first anchor type we could use would be exact match. Exact match is where we reference a keyword we are targeting, so web design agency. These are super powerful as there's no doubt as to what the page is going to be about if we link to the page with an exact match anchor. However, these aren't the most natural, so you want to avoid using them frequently. In fact, Google has actually clamped down on these a lot in recent years due to people trying to manipulate the algorithm. The second anchor type is partial match, so design agency for your new business. This can be used in a sentence such as, are you looking for a design agency for your new business website? However, design agency for your new business would be the clickable text. This is classified as a partial match as it only contains parts of the keyword, which is design agency. There is no mention of web anywhere in there. These are more natural and as a result are safer to use. However, as with most link building campaigns, it's hard to control what anchor text people use when linking to our sites. It's more a case of if you find you're getting too many of any type of anchors, you want to try and mix things up and explore other anchor types. The third type is what we call branded anchors. This is the type of anchor that we saw in the example link I was showing you earlier on a few seconds ago. A branded link is when a website links to you using your brand name as an anchor text. Branded anchors are great for increasing your brand presence online, and they're also super safe as you can't get penalized for Google for having too many of them, as it's literally a website linking to you mentioning your brand name. Just take Amazon for example. The majority of websites who link to Amazon.com will do so using a branded anchor such as Amazon. The fourth anchor type is what we call a naked URL. So they will literally go into the context and paste in your URL and then make the whole URL the anchor text. The last type of anchor text is what we call miscellaneous. So this is when a website will link to your website using generic text such as read more, click here. But that is essentially the main 5 type of anchor text you can use when linking out to another website. I'll see you guys in the next video. What anchor type does your website need? I get asked this question almost every single day, and I hate to say it, but there is no perfect ratio. Simply put, it's best practice to have a variation of them all. You can use Ahrefs and look at all the anchor text ratios your competitors are using and then try to mimic that. However, I wouldn't recommend it as it gets messy very, very quickly. As a result, it's best to keep things natural and build all anchor types. I've seen websites at the top of Google with just exact match anchors, and I've also seen websites at the top of Google with just branded anchors. I guess Google just has a different range of lenience for different industries. You do, however, need to be super careful when you're using exact match anchors, as you can very quickly over-optimize a website. This is especially true if your domain name has a keyword in it, as Google can potentially get confused and think you're building exact match anchors when in fact you're just building branded links. For example, if your website is called yogamats.com and you start building tons of links to your website with the anchor saying yoga mats, this can be very easily misinterpreted that you're trying to build tons of links to your site with exact match anchors, when in reality, you're just building branded anchors. If a domain does have a keyword in it, be sure to pay close attention to that and avoid exact match anchors even more. What pages should you build backlinks to? This is another question I get asked quite often, and when you change your perspective and look at things from a different angle, the answer is very straightforward. A backlink can help improve the visibility of a web page in Google. As a result, you're going to want to build backlinks to all the pages on your website that you would like more visibility for. Simply put, build backlinks to the pages you want to rank. For example, that could be your homepage, it could be your blog posts, or it could be your product pages. Build links to the pages that you want to rank. But wait there, before you go out and start building links to your product pages, for example, do bear in mind that every piece of content you publish on your website should have some value. Otherwise, what's the point of publishing it, right? So again, if you change your perspective, the majority of pages on your site will have some value to your audience. Obviously minus the standard about page and your contact page for obvious reasons. However, if your page has value, you should be building backlinks to it. Take one of your blog posts, for example. There's tons of information and value in them, so it's only right you build backlinks to them so you can showcase all of that online. In summary, you should be building backlinks to all of the pages that you want to rank on Google, including the ones that have low buyer intent, aka your blog posts. Don't just build links to your pages that have high buyer intent behind them, as after a while, your website is going to have 100 links, and all 100 links are going to be pointing to pages that have high buyer intent, aka your product pages, which is extremely unnatural. As SEOs, we want to blend in and not actively look like we're doing SEO, as it's no surprise that Google isn't a fan of SEOs, as people who know SEO typically don't spend money on running any Google ads, and that is where Google make the bulk of their money. So in closing, build links to pages that have value on your website and ones that you want to rank. Do follow versus no follow links. You might have heard of these terminologies in the past. If you haven't, then no worries, as I'm going to explain the difference to you in this video. So let's start off with do follow links. To really understand what is going on with follow versus no follow links, we need to provide a bit of background about how most links work in the realm of SEO. When a page gets an inbound link, which is a hyperlink pointing to that page, the page gets a small SEO boost. Think of the link as a point. The more links you have, the more points you have. Google takes note of these points and counts how many pages a link has and from what site. Google figures, hey, if a lot of people are linking to a certain page, it must have some really good content and it must be a good page. Let's give it a preference in our search engines and allow it to rank higher. Google created a metric called PageRank, which calculates the link points. Many SEO folks refer to link points as link juice. The link juice flows from one site to another through hyperlinks. The more authoritative the site is, the bigger the boost it can transfer. For example, getting a link from the New York Times or BBC is pure gold. A do follow link in HTML would look like this. And as you can see, it's a standard link in the format of HTML. There's nothing odd about this at all. In summary, do follow links are links that count as points, pushing SEO link juice and boosting the rank of that page. So what is a no follow link? A no follow link is a link that does not count as a point in the page's favor. It does not boost the page rank and it does not help the page rank higher in Google. No follow links get no love. It's a sad but lonely life for them. A no follow link is created with a HTML tag that looks like this. So as you can see, it's pretty similar to a do follow link. However, at the end of the link, we have rel equals no follow. The no follow tag is basically a notice sign for search engines saying don't count this. There's a reason for the no follow attribute and it stems from Google trying to fight out spam back in the days. So now we've gone through the difference of a do follow backlink and a no follow backlink, we're going to head over to Google and I'm going to show you how you can spot the difference by using a Google Chrome extension. Okay, so the Google Chrome extension I was referring to that allows you to be able to tell if a link is a do follow or a no follow is called SEO Quake. So you simply want to do a search for SEO Quake Chrome plugin and it should be the top one you see right here. Let's give that a click. You'll know it's the right one because it'll look like this, seoquake.com. So let's add that to our Google Chrome extensions and click add. It's a free extension, so it won't cost you a penny. Now let's add it. Let's go up here, give it a right click and then go to options. And then what you want to do is make sure this box right here is checked. So highlight no follow links. We'll mark all links with rel no follow. So let's give that a tick. And now we can close that. So now what you want to do is go over to any blog and see if it has any links on it. So I'm going to look at this blog post by backlinko.com. Let's just close this button up here and for any domain. And you can see I've got a link right here. So as you can see, this link is not crossed out, which means it is a do follow backlink. However, at the bottom of the blog, they always have an option where you can put a link to your website. And these links are typically no follow. So as you can see, this person, Brian, submitted a comment on this blog. And you can see his name is Bill and it's actually crossed out. So if I click this should be an actual link to the person's website, which you can see it is indeed. However, it does have a line through the link, which basically means this link is a no follow backlink. So just to confirm that as well, you can actually right click and then go to inspect and basically look at the HTML code on the website. And you can see it does indeed have the no follow attribute there and it has it again there. So this is a very good plugin and makes the whole process very, very quick. So like I said, every link in the comment section will be a no follow link. However, all the links in the body in this article in particular will be standard links. As you can see, looking for a link right now. As you see the link right here, again, it's not crossed out. So if I do an inspect on this link, this will not say no follow at all. It'll be a standard link, which you can see ahref. We've got the link there as shown. So again, this is a perfect example of just showing you how this link doesn't have a no follow and a plugin shows you everything correctly. So hopefully you guys found that useful. So just some final words on that. So in your link building campaigns, just make sure you focus on do follow backlinks, as those are the links that give you points and give you the SEO benefit. And those are the links that will get you ranking higher onto the first page of Google. So some great methods for securing some do follow backlinks would be guest posting, skyscraper technique. And again, I'm going to cover all of those strategies later on in this course. So now you know what a backlink is, it's time to check out what backlinks your website currently has. It's good to note that if your website is brand new, so let's imagine you built your website a few days ago, or even last week, for example, then it's highly unlikely that you will have any backlinks pointing to your website. However, if you have an aged website, so maybe your website is 1 year old, 2 years old, or even older, then it's very likely that you will have some backlinks pointing to your website, as typically over time, your website will acquire backlinks naturally. So to find out what backlinks your website already has, what you need to do is head over to SEMrush and simply enter in your website URL in the top search bar within SEMrush. So for me, I'm going to be using the same website I showcased earlier on in the course, which was Yoga Matters. And just to confirm once again, this is actually not my website. So let's go ahead and enter in the full URL and then go ahead and simply click search. Now, once the information has loaded, we can see how many backlinks this website has by looking at this box right here, where it says backlinks. So in total, yogamatters.com has 15,800 different backlinks. Below this number, we have some more information, which says referring domains, 1.9k, so 1,900. And what this essentially means is that 1,900 different websites link to yogamatters.com. The reason why you're always going to see more backlinks than referring domains is because some of these websites link to yogamatters.com multiple times. However, the amount of links they have from unique websites is 1,900. So this is also a very good metric to look at as well, as you build backlinks, generally you want to focus on getting backlinks from unique websites. You don't want to be getting too many backlinks from the same website, as after a while you're going to have diminishing returns and it won't actually do that much benefit for your SEO. So to view what these backlinks are, you simply need to go ahead and click the number. So let's go ahead and click 15,800, and as you can see, SEMrush has now populated all the information regarding those backlinks. We can simply scroll down the page and look at all of those 15,000 backlinks if we wanted to. However, that would take us hours and hours. Now, as you can imagine, like I said earlier, not all backlinks are created equal. Some of these backlinks are going to be do follow backlinks, and some of them are going to be no follow backlinks. Now, as we've already covered, do follow backlinks are the ones that give you the SEO benefit. So if you simply wanted to view how many do follow backlinks you have, you can use the filters that SEMrush provides you right here, follow and no follow. So if we go ahead and click follow, this 15,000 number you just saw there has actually gone down to 7,000 in total. So out of all those backlinks they have, only 7,000 of them are actually do follow backlinks. Now, one thing we want to do as well is change the referring domains. So at the moment, the links per referring domain is set to all. So what this means is that SEMrush is currently showing us multiple backlinks all from the same domain. However, if we just want to see one backlink per domain, we can simply go ahead and click one, and that 7,000 you just saw has now gone down to 1,402. And these backlinks we're seeing now will be some of the most important and powerful backlinks this website has. So you can see they have a link from the website called techradar.com. This is an article that actually links to the website. So it's how to watch today's Joe Wicks PE workout right now on YouTube. So if we go ahead and open this URL, this will be a URL on TechRadar. And this URL links to this URL on yogamatters.com. And the text you see above is going to be the anchor text that this article uses to link to this URL. So if we go ahead and copy that anchor text and go over to this URL, which is the backlink, do a Control F and enter in that anchor text, you can see we've found one of one, and this is the anchor text, which if clicked will link to yogamatters.com. So as you can see, this software is super powerful and will allow you to see how many backlinks you have, where the backlinks are coming from, what anchor text you have in literally just a few minutes. How to determine what makes a good backlink? As you can imagine, not all backlinks are created equal. Just because the website looks clean and shiny on the surface, it doesn't necessarily mean that having a link from that site is going to have a benefit to your website. There's a 5-step checklist that we use at the agency to determine if a backlink is good or not. If a website doesn't meet all 5 points on our criteria, then we most likely won't go ahead with it. The reason being is because SEO these days is all about quality and not quantity. You really can't afford to make sacrifices when it comes to the quality of your SEO campaign. So without further ado, these are the 5 things you should check when determining if a backlink is good or not. Number 1, check the website's domain authority. Good websites will have a domain authority of at least 25, and we can easily check the website's domain authority by using the Mozbar, which I showcased earlier on in the course. You can be more stricter if you want, for example, domain authority 30 and above. However, it's completely your choice. Just be sure to stay above the low 20s to ensure you filter out the low quality websites. Number 2, check how many keywords the website appears for. Good websites rank for lots of keywords. If Google allows a site to rank for a keyword, then it's a good sign that Google likes a specific website. So getting a backlink from this site is something we definitely want to do. I like to look for websites that appear for at least 100 different keywords. Number 3, check the website has a decent amount of organic traffic. So this is pretty much the same logic as number 2 above. It all goes back to seeing if the site is good in the eyes of Google. So good websites will rank for some keywords and as a result will have some organic traffic. There isn't any perfect number you want to look out for, as this number is going to vary and is going to be dependent on how many keywords a website appears for. However, to give you some context, I like to look for websites that have at least 200 monthly organic visitors. Getting a link from a website that has no organic traffic is not a good idea, as having no traffic can potentially be a sign that the site got penalized from Google in the past. Number 4, check the website has a good number of referring domains. As we all know, backlinks are super important and have a massive influence on rankings in Google. If you're getting a backlink from a website that also has its own backlinks, then that's a really good thing, as all of that link juice and all of that power it has from its own links will make its way over to your site as well, giving your website a bigger boost in Google. Like I said in the previous video, sometimes websites can link to the same website multiple times, so we don't want to focus on the backlink number for this. We want to focus on the number of referring domains, which is essentially how many unique websites link to this website. This is a much more reliable approach to take, as it cuts out any bloated figures with the same websites linking multiple times. Securing a backlink from a website that has lots of referring domains is going to give your website a bigger boost in Google. I like to go for websites that have at least 50 referring domains, so websites that have at least 50 unique websites linking back to them. Lastly, number 5, check that the page isn't linking out to tons of other different websites. Now, to be fair, this one isn't required, however, I like to do it just to ensure I'm future-proofing my website. Websites that link to multiple websites in the same article mean that they're going to provide a smaller SEO boost to your website, as that link is going to be diluted and split across all the site's reference. So ideally, you want to get links from articles that only mention your website and potentially one more just to keep things natural. As always, instead of just giving you the theory, it's time to show you how this works with a real world example. So what I've done is I've gone over to SEMrush, I've searched for yogamatters.com, and I've gone over to the backlinks just to look at all the backlinks they have so I can find one and use it as an example in this video. And that is exactly what I've done. So this is a backlink I found in SEMrush, which is pointing to yogamatters.com. So let's go ahead and follow our 5-point criteria. So the first thing was to check the domain authority. So let's go ahead and check the domain authority now using the Moz bar which I showed you earlier on in the course. So as you can see, the domain authority is 90, which is really high. This is way above what I recommend of 25. So this is really good and is a great sign which we want to see from a backlink that we have. The next thing which we want to check is the amount of keywords and the amount of organic traffic this site has. So to do that, I'm going to take the website domain name, which is going to be ellie.com. It's very important we take just a domain name and not the whole URL. So let's take that domain name, Control C, go over to SEMrush and then Control V, simply paste for that. And once the information has loaded, if we scroll down to the organic keywords, we can see that this website appears for over 2 million different keywords, which is tons and tons of keywords. So it's passed our keyword check, which if you remember was at least 200 keywords. If we scroll up to the top, we can see the organic traffic. This site has over 10 million organic visitors every single month, almost 11 million visitors, which is actually crazy. So again, nothing to worry about at all from this site. It has passed point 3 on our criteria. Point 4 was the amount of referring domains. We can see the referring domains by looking under backlinks right here. Referring domains, 80,300. Again, tons and tons of referring domains. So this is a really good sign and is an indication that this is a really good backlink. And our fifth and final thing we need to check on our 5-point criteria is to check how many other pages this article links out to. So if we go back and look at the article, you can see it has yoga right here, which is an internal link. We know that because we can see the URL at the left-hand bottom side of the screen. And if we do click this, it will just open another page on ellie.com. As you can see, it's done so like that, which is perfectly fine. Then we had the link to the site, Yoga Matters, which is perfect. we have a link down here to a teacher called Fern Ross, which again is another link on le.com. Again, le.com UK, which is absolutely fine. So we have an internal link, a link to our site, an internal link. We have two more links right here, which by the looks of it are both going to be internal links. Let's just open them just to be sure these are internal links. So again, another internal link to le.com, and we have another internal link to le.com. So again, nothing to worry about whatsoever. It's only links to external websites that we want to pay attention to. So essentially, that is my 5-step process on how you evaluate if a backlink is good or not. That brings us to the end of this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Before we dive into the methods you can use to build backlinks, I want to dig a little bit deeper for those who are interested in learning more about backlinks and exactly how they can help. So far we know a backlink represents a vote of confidence, however they also provide one of three things, which are relevance, trust, and power. You can get all three of these from the same backlink, or you can just get one element from one backlink. However, no matter what, your backlink profile needs all three of these elements to rank on Google. So number one, relevance. Relevance is established from the content where the link is placed. If you get a link from a website which is about golf in an article which is about golf, then guess what? You're a little bit more about golf too. Relevancy will also come from the anchor text which is used. If you get a link from a website and the anchor text says, my favorite tennis rack, then we can assume the article we're linking to is about tennis rackets. Number two, trust. There's this concept that was baked into Google's algorithm that a link can pass a certain level of trust based on the distance that link is from a set of manual created seed sites. So the New York Times is probably one of these seed sites. Maybe Wall Street Journal too. You know those big gigantic websites such as WebMD and so on? These are probably seed sites that Google manually created and that Google trusts. So if you get a direct link from any one of them, then that is a huge amount of trust transferred over to your website. But if you get a link from a website that has a link directly from them, then that is also a lot of trust, however just not as much as a direct link. And the distance between your site and one of these seed sites determines how much trust you get. There's also some speculation around trust as well, such as links from age site pass on more trust. Number three, power. Power is the easiest to understand. Essentially, a link from a massive website will transfer a lot of power over to your website than a link from a small website that no one has heard of. In the remaining videos in this section of the course, we're going to cover multiple link building strategies that you can utilize to build backlinks to your website. So without further ado, let's dive into the next video and cover the first link building strategy. Hi and welcome back. The next videos in this section of the course are all going to be covering link building strategies that you can utilize to build backlinks to your website. I'm going to try and use different industries in each strategy I present to help give you a broader understanding of exactly how you can apply these to any industry out there. So without further ado, let's dive into the first strategy. Strategy number one, guest posting. Guest posting or guest blogging is when you write an article for someone else's blog. It's a great way to connect with new readers and also get your name out there whilst also securing a backlink to your website. It's actually my favorite method as you're able to get links in just a few days, which is a massive win. The beauty of guest posting is that as you're writing the content yourself, you're able to pick the anchor text as well. This is super powerful, as I said in the anchor text video, as if you realize you're getting too many of any certain anchor types, then you want to avoid getting more of them, as this can look unnatural. With guest posting, you can do just this. You want to get guest post opportunities on sites that are relevant to what you do. It doesn't have to be a like for like, but the site should at least be in the same industry as yours, or at least have a category on the website which is similar to yours. For example, if you own a healthy eating blog, then trying to get a link from another healthy eating blog might be a little bit hard. However, what you can do is take one step back and guest post on a cooking website, as they would most likely have a section on their website for healthy eating recipes. Getting links from sites in the same niche as you helps tremendously when it comes to increasing the relevancy of your website, which, as I said in the last video, is super important. As you're securing a link from a website similar to your niche, you're also increasing the chances of generating referral traffic from that website onto yours too, which helps with brand exposure too. Hopefully you can see why I'm such a big fan of guest posting. Right, so how do we find these guest post opportunities? It's pretty simple when you use Google search operators. A Google search operator is something you search in Google with a little variation. For example, I have niche submit a guest post. This is what we call a Google search operator, as I've included speech marks in the search. So niche would simply be the niche you're targeting. This is a very handy one. There's another 4 more I'll show you. You can have niche guest post, niche guest post by, niche accepting guest post, and lastly, niche write for us. Typically, websites that do accept guest posts will have a page on the site talking about how you can submit a guest post, the guidelines you need to follow, why you might want to write for them, and so on and so on. So essentially just bragging about how big the audience is and asking you to write for their website. We can use these search operators to find more guest post opportunities for our business. So that covers the theory of guest posting. So let's head over to Google now and show you exactly how this works in the real world with a live example. So I'm now over on Google, and as always, I'm not just going to go over the theory of a strategy, I'm actually going to show you a live example of exactly how this works. So what I'm going to do is simply search for some guest post opportunities by using one of the search operators which I showed you a few seconds ago. So I'm going to go for the one which was at the top, which was niche, speech mark, submit a guest post. So for the purpose of this video, let's pretend I operate in the niche of healthy eating. So I want to change the word niche to healthy eating blogs and then carry out a search for that. And as you can see, Google has returned 187,000 different websites, which all accept guest posts, which are related to healthy eating. We've got submit a guest post, health and fitness by Iron Wild Fitness. We've got submit a guest post, ladies diet, and so on and so on. Now, if you carry out a search for your niche and you don't see that many results, what you can actually do is take one step back. So instead of searching for healthy eating blogs, we can actually just take healthy eating out and then simply search for cooking, as cooking is obviously an element which is involved when it comes to healthy eating. So as you can see, Google has now returned 258,000 different websites, which is a lot more than the first search. The reason why it's returned more now than it did before is because this term is a lot more broader and is not as specific as the first. So let's scroll down and have a look at the websites that Google has returned. In position 1, we have another one, bitesthecrustblog.com, which is quite interesting. Let's give that one an open. We've got bigguestposting.com. We've got bigguestposting.com again, worldlife.com, tons and tons of websites. So as you can see, this strategy is super powerful. Literally, with just in a few seconds, we have tons and tons of websites we can reach out to, all which accept guest posts. So let's go ahead and open this other one right here at the bottom of page 1, sweet2eatbacon.com. So let's have a look at the first website. So submit your guest post, food and cooking. This is a perfect example for us. The whole website is based on healthy eating, cooking, recipes, vegan food, and so on. And if you actually go through the page and read it, what it does is it actually tells you the guidelines that you need to follow if you want to get a guest post featured on this website. So if we scroll down the page, you can actually see the topics and titles which they are looking to have featured on the website. They've got beauty and makeup, which is quite interesting, not really related to healthy eating, but they've got salad, seafood, snacks, soup, vegan food, vegetarian food, so on and so on and so on. They even go on to tell you the benefits of having a guest post published on the website. So they tell you that you have over 20,000 new readers. It's a very easy process. Tons and tons of reasons why you should submit a guest post on this website. So really and truly, what this website is doing is kind of selling the website and giving you all the reasons why you should write for them. This makes it very easy for us to reach out to this website and actually get a guest post featured. If we scroll down more on the page, we can see we have further information on how to submit a guest post for publication. So it says just go ahead and send an attachment, put in your name, email, subject, and your message. Obviously fill in the capture form they have at the bottom, and then they will review your article for submission. And if it's a good article, it will get featured on this website. So as you can see, the process is very straightforward. However, before you rush out there and start submitting guest post opportunities to all these different websites, what you want to do is actually look at the website in SEMrush just to make sure it's actually a good website. So let's go ahead and take the website URL. So we only want the website name for this. We don't want the actual URL. So just another one, bitesthecrustblog.com. Let's go over to SEMrush and carry out a search. As from the surface, this website looks really good. It's really tailored down to our niche, which is great. However, you don't always want to judge a website by the surface. You always want to have a look at that website in SEMrush and see exactly if it is a good website. So this is essentially the same process that we follow when we evaluate what makes a good backlink. So if you remember what I said in that video, it was checking the website's domain authority, checking how many keywords this website appears for, how much organic traffic the website has, how many referring domains it has, and so on and so on. As if the website doesn't have really good numbers for those metrics, then it's probably not a website you want to get a link from. So let's go ahead and go over to SEMrush. We've carried out a search for that website, so it's time to review the data. So we can see the website has 125 referring domains, which is really good, as a number I recommend is 50 and above. However, the organic search traffic is very, very low. We can see that from the chart here as well. On average, this website gets 3 visitors every single month from Google. Now that isn't that much traffic at all. So when you see sites with not a lot of traffic, you always have to question if you actually want to get a backlink from that website pointing to your website. If we scroll down, we can see they only appear for 30 different organic keywords, which kind of makes sense as to why they have not that much traffic in total. So as you can see, it's really important to look at websites in SEMrush as well. You don't just want to base your decision based on how the website looks, which from the surface, it looks very nice, it's clean, responsive and modern. However, from an SEO perspective, it's not actually going to provide that much value to our website. So in this instance, this is a website that I would not go for. So let's look at the second website, which was sweettoeatbacon.com. Again, once we land on the page we found from Google, we can see we have lots of requirements about the guest post, what we need to do, make sure we have no typos, the size of images if we include them, how many words our guest post should be. And again, there's a little form within the page, which is how we can submit our guest post for submission. So let's do exactly the same thing. Let's take this website URL and we'll go over to SEMrush and let's simply carry out a search for this so we can review the data and see if this is actually a really good site to get a guest post on. So the data has now populated, and as you can see, this website has 973 referring domains, which is really, really good. They get almost 20,000 different visitors every single month. Again, which is 2 really positives. We can actually see the traffic trend chart here as well. So we can see the traffic has been rising. It had a small decrease toward the end of December. However, it is rising again, which is really good things to see. If we scroll down, we can see they appear for 16,000 different organic keywords. Again, another good really thing to see. We can go back to the website and check our Mozbar Chrome extension just to find out the page authority and the domain authority of this website, which as you can see has a page authority of 28 and a domain authority of 45. So both these numbers are really good. So on the whole, this is a really good website and is one I'd actually want to get a link from. Whereas the first website is probably one we'd like to avoid. And if you do check the website using Mozbar, you can see they have a page authority of 18 and a domain authority of 19. So both numbers below 20, which is really low. So again, it just goes to show if you do use the Mozbar, you can actually save yourself a lot of work and you probably don't even need to check the website in SEMrush. So once you've gone through Google and you've made a list of all the websites which you'd like to get your guest post featured on, it's a good idea to track all of these websites in a spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet that we use at the agency, and essentially it just makes your life so much more easier when it comes to tracking all of your guest post opportunities. It's actually very handy to have as well if you intend on running your own SEO agency. So the spreadsheet is very straightforward. All we have is the website URL. So in this instance, we'd go over and take the website URL, sweettoeatbacon.com. We'd paste that in like so. We'd get the website's domain authority, which I believe was 45. We can see that up there from the Chrome extension. You can always give that a click just to double check. Domain authority 45. So I'd go ahead and put domain authority 45. I'd put down the number of referring domains this website has. Again, this is all just for reference, so we have more information about the websites we are getting backlinks from. And you can see referring domains is 973. So I'd put 973. The amount of traffic this website gets every single month and the keywords. So let's get traffic and keywords now. Again, both data we can get from SEMrush, 18.6, and we got 16,000. So 18.6, 18,600, and it was 16,000 different keywords. The next two columns, article written and article submitted, this is what we use internally as we have an in-house writer who writes all of our guest post content. So whenever they write an article, they would simply put yes, article is written, and then yes under article submitted. So that would be when we submit the article to the website. And we put the date we submitted the article as well. So all of these things combined just makes it very easy to keep a track of exactly what is going on. Now, don't worry about trying to screenshot this and what columns we have, as I'm going to upload this as a downloadable resource. And one important thing I just want to note as well is when you're going through Google and you're finding all these different websites you can reach out to, you want to make sure that you send each website a unique piece of content. You don't want to send the same article to all of these different websites, as what that results in is you having backlinks from multiple websites that all have the same article and most likely the same anchor text as well. We want to avoid this and we want to look natural. So each website you reach out to, you're going to require a unique piece of content. So as you would have noticed from the first two websites we reviewed, which was Another One Bites the Crust.blog.com and sweet2eatbaking.com, both of these websites, to submit a guest post, you actually have to fill in a form on the website. However, you aren't always going to come across sites that have this format. For example, here's another website called cookiemummy.com. If you scroll down on this website, you can see there's actually no form whatsoever. So the way to get in touch with these websites is going to be through email. So what I'm going to do now is head back to our PowerPoint slides and I'll show you a message you can use if you have to reach out to these sites via email. So this is the email template we use when reaching out to websites that state their email address, which, to be fair, you can also use this on websites that have the form submissions as well. There's no reason why you can't just copy and paste this in the message box. But essentially it says, "Hi name, I was researching about topic today and came across your website. Great collection of high quality articles. I am reaching out to you to contribute a high quality post to your blog. Below are the topics which I can write a well-researched post on, topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3. I look forward to hearing from you from one of the topics above, and I'll be sending you the draft as soon as possible. Regards, your name." So you would actually fill in the blanks with what is relevant to your guest post industry. For example, the first line, I was researching about, I would put in cooking today and came across your website. It's all about filling in the blanks and giving websites ideas. However, if a website does tell you topics they'd like you to write about, you obviously don't need to mention topic 1, 2, and 3. So I use this template and it works extremely well. I recommend you use it as well. Do feel free to use your own template as well. But essentially what we want to do is just reach out to a website and let them know we are interested in submitting a guest post on their site. Strategy number 2, steal your competitors' backlinks. This is a very simple but yet very powerful method, and the beauty of this method is that we can view all the backlinks our competitors have, analyze them, and then simply cherry pick the best ones which we would also like for our website too. So to do this, you simply need to find your competitors and then plug them into SEMrush and review all the data. So step 1 is to find your competitors. For the example in this video, I'll be pretending that I own a website that sells car vacuums. As like I said, I want to use a different industry for each backlink strategy I showcase to really ensure you have a broad understanding of how you can apply these in the real world. So as my website is about car vacuums, one of the keywords I want to target is going to be best car vacuums. So let's go ahead and carry out a search to find our competitors. So let's make sure we scroll below the ads, as you don't want to be looking at ads for this strategy. You want to be looking at the websites that rank organically in Google. So these websites right here, t3.com, thesun.co.uk, spotlessvacuum.co.uk. These are all websites that rank highly in Google for the keyword that we want to rank for. So as a result, these websites are essentially our competitors. So let's go ahead and open this website right now. And as you can see, this is an article about the 7 best car vacuums. Now this article is bound to have backlinks as it's ranking highly on page 1. So what we want to do is take the whole website URL, including this particular page about car vacuums, go over to SEMrush, Control V to paste that in the top search bar, and simply carry out a search. Now, SEMrush is going to return tons of data about this URL, and in particular, the one we want to bear in mind is going to be the backlinks this page has. So you can see this page has 68 different backlinks. So let's go ahead and give this number a click to actually look at what all those backlinks are. So if we scroll down, we can see all of those 68 backlinks. We have a backlink from popcole.com, another one from popcole.com. We've got a few more from popcole, and so on. So like I said earlier on in the course, what you want to do is go to this part right here where it says links per referring domains and make sure you tick number 1. This is going to show you 1 link per domain. So now you can see we only have 1 link from popcole.com, which is really what we want to be focusing on. The next thing we want to do is make sure we go for follow backlinks, as like I said earlier on in the course, we don't want to be looking at backlinks that are no follow, as no follow backlinks don't provide an SEO benefit. So let's go ahead and click follow. That 11 has now dropped down to 7. So essentially, these are the 7 most impactful backlinks that this particular page has. We've got a backlink from theluxuryauthority.com. We've got a backlink from 6feetunderblog.com, and so on and so on. So let's go ahead and look at this backlink. So to view the backlink, all we need to do is click this little icon right here, and this will open a new page and will show us the page which is linking to this URL that is ranking highly in Google. So this is the website, theluxuryauthority.com. So as you can see, this article is about car vacuums, how to get rid of crumbs and clean your vehicle thoroughly. As it's super niche relevant, it's all about car vacuums. You can scroll down, they've got images about cleaning your car, best car vacuums to keep your vehicle clean. Then they go ahead and list multiple car vacuums. So this is a really niche relevant link, which as we know, relevancy is a really big factor to ensure you rank highly on Google. So let's go ahead and analyze this website in a bit more detail just to figure out if we actually want to get a backlink from it. So we can go over to our Mozbar Chrome extension and we can actually see that this website has a domain authority of 27, which is a really good sign and is something you want to see. So we can go back to SEMrush and kind of rinse and repeat this process for all the other backlinks this site has as well. So we can go for 6feetunderblog.com. We can see already what the article is about. 5 tips to achieving a sparkling car interior. So let's go ahead and open this backlink and check out the domain authority of this website. So as we can see, the domain authority of this website is 19, so a little bit lower than the first one. However, as the website on page 1 has a link from this site and is ranking highly, I don't want to skip this link. This is actually another good link that I would like to get as well. So as you probably guessed, when it comes to SEO, although there are a few benchmarks we like to follow, like domain authority 25 and above, if you find competitors on page 1 ranking highly and they have backlinks from a website that has a low domain authority, it's probably worth you going out there and actually getting those backlinks too. Just be careful on the anchor text you use. So as you can see, this is a really powerful method to find out all the backlinks your competitors have literally just in a few minutes. Now, it's important to note that you can rinse and repeat this method for multiple websites on page 1. So if you remember correctly, we just looked at spotlessvacuum.co.uk. But if we go back one, we can also take another website, the Mirror, CNET, Motor1.com, plug them into SEMrush, have a look at the backlinks, and then go out and get those backlinks as well. So essentially, when you compile a list of websites that you'd like to get backlinks from as well, it would literally be the same process from there onwards in regards to you reaching out to the website and asking if you can write a guest post for this website. Now, the reason why this strategy works so well is because these websites you're seeing that are ranking highly on page 1 on Google, they would have done the on-page SEO correctly and they would have done link building correctly. So if we go ahead and mimic the on-page SEO, or even better, do the on-page SEO better, and then go out and actually mimic all the backlinks they have, then you're essentially following a proven blueprint that you can follow to get your website onto the first page of Google as well. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to cover the next link building strategy. Strategy number 3, forum link building. Forum link building, as it sounds, involves going out and finding relevant forums and securing a link from within them. It's good for 2 reasons. The first is, when you get a link from within a relevant forum, it allows you to drive targeted traffic to your website. This is super powerful. As we already know, link building has an SEO benefit. However, if we can get an additional benefit of driving targeted traffic to our site as well, then that's a bonus. Forum link building is also good because it allows you to establish a relationship with influencers inside your industry. So a lot of the time you'll find influencers and people with a lot of authority will hang out in these forums as well. So over time you can actually build up a relationship with them, which could potentially help your link building efforts in the future. So how do you find these link building forums? So there's a few ways, 6 in total. All 6 involve using Google search operators. We've got forum plus niche. Obviously you'd replace the word niche with the niche you're actually targeting. We've got niche plus discussion board. We've also got niche in URL :/forums. And we've also got another 3 listed on the right, such as niche powered by vBulletin. You want to make sure you have powered by vBulletin in speech marks. And then below that, we also have in URL :/forum niche. And we have in title :forum and niche. So these are all the Google search operators you can use to find forums in your niche. If you didn't already know, the top one on the right, niche powered by vBulletin. vBulletin is actually used by most websites that use a forum. So if we use vBulletin, we can find tons of forums very, very easily. So what I'm going to do now is go over to Google and show you a live example. As I said multiple times already in this course, I don't just want to give you the theory, I want to actually go out there and show you how to do it in a live walkthrough. So let's head over to Google now. So I'm now over on Google and I'm going to use the first Google search operator, which was forum plus niche. So for example, in this video, I'm going to pretend I own a gaming blog which talks about gaming chairs, gaming laptops, and so on and so on. So my main niche is going to be gaming. So I'm simply going to replace the word niche with gaming. And as you can see, Google has now returned tons of search results which are all about gaming forums. We've got gamingdesign.org, which is actually a roundup list of the top 30 gaming forums. We've got Joy3, the world's #1 gaming forum, and there is tons and tons of results. We can go to page 6, for example, and still get more gaming forums. So it's a really, really good method. If I actually go over to my notepad and show you how this works with another Google search operator, such as this one here, niche powered by vBulletin, I'll show you exactly how that works as well. It's exactly the same thing, paste in the Google search operator and simply place the word niche with the niche you're targeting. So for me, it's going to be gaming. And as you can see, again, I've got tons of gaming forums all being returned by Google. So let's open this one right here, teamplayergaming.forum. Let's go into any random category, ARK, I'm not sure what game this is about. Seems to be about dinosaurs. So let's just open this one, ARK. Let's open any random one. Let's go for Revival, ARK Revival. As you can see, tons of categories within categories on here. And I'm not sure what this game is about, but if you scroll down, you can see there's loads of people on here talking about this game, this dinosaur right here. This person's actually put a link to, I'm not sure what website it is, something to do about servers. But essentially what we can do is actually sign up for this forum and actually join this conversation. So instead of just joining a forum and then posting a link to your website, what you want to do is actually answer someone's question. So for example, this person right here has said, so anybody still playing ARK? So you can join this forum and then say, hey, I'm still playing ARK. It's a really good game. And if you do enjoy ARK, check out this blog I wrote on my website, which covers another game which is really similar to ARK. I'm sure you will love it too. And then post a link to your website. So as you can see, it's all about getting your link in there naturally. Do bear in mind as well, as to comment on a lot of these forums, you are going to need to sign up with an email address. Most forums are free. If a forum does require you to pay, I would probably just skip it and move on to another forum. So as you're going to need your email address to actually sign up to the forums and actually post a comment, I do recommend you set up a new email address. Otherwise, what you'll find, your main inbox will be just full of notifications and emails, all from people responding to your comments in the forum. So do set up a new email address just for forum link building as well. So to summarize, these links are super powerful as you're getting a link from a forum which is relevant to your industry, which is going to pass on tons of relevancy to your website, which helps a lot and is something you definitely want to look for when getting a backlink back to your website. Strategy number 4, resource link building. Resource pages are pages that link out to awesome content on a given topic. Because these pages exist for the sole reason of linking out, they make the perfect link building targets for us. As you can see from the image on the right, I have a screenshot from a resource page from a website called The Baking Pan. So The Baking Pan is a website all to do with baking, cheesecakes, recipes, and so on and so on. And you can see that the website owner has put up a page which is to do with resources and useful links. So you can see from the text on the right, it says links to blogs that have inspired me, along with websites that I enjoy browsing. And then below that, it literally links out to all the websites which have inspired the person who owns the website. we can actually use a Google search operator to find pages just like this from within our industry, and then reach out to them and try and get a link too. There's a 3-step process to this. Step 1 is find relevant resource pages. Step 2, find the best fit content. So this would be the content that fits the resource page that you found. And then step 3 would be to reach out to the website owners and then try and get a link back to your website. So let's look at step 1 in a bit more detail. There's 4 Google search operators you can use to find resource pages. There's probably more than 4 to be honest. However, these are the 4 that bring the best results. The first is niche plus in URL : links. Then we have niche plus helpful resources. Then we have niche plus useful resources. And lastly, my favorite, niche plus useful links. It's very important you include the speech marks when using the Google search operators. So let's head over to Google now and show you a live walkthrough of exactly how you can apply this in the real world. So I'm now over on Google, and what I'm going to do is copy the 4th Google search operator, which is actually my favorite one. So niche plus useful links. Before I click search, I want to replace the word niche with the niche I'm actually targeting. So for the purpose of this video, let's pretend I own a website which is to do with dogs training, dog bowls, and so on. So as a result, I'm going to replace the word niche with the word dog and then click enter. As you can see, Google has now returned tons of search results, all to do with useful links to do with dogs. So let's open this one. You can see we have this website right here, which is chiltondogrescue.org.uk. And typically when you see a website that has a .org, it means it's an organization. So as a result, getting a link on this site is going to be a lot harder. So what I'm going to do is go back to Google and maybe type in dog blog, for example. And as you can see, again, we've got different results. We've got the dogandi.co.uk, which sounds quite useful. Let's have a look at this one. Let's open this website. And as you can see, it's a page on the site talking about useful links. So they have an excellent resource for all things cockapoo, grooming, shopping, breeders, and more. And then what we can do is reach out to this website and ask them to link to one of our pieces of content on our website. Do bear in mind, if you don't have any content on your website that is a good fit at present, you might want to go ahead and create one. So once you found a potential website you're happy with and you have a piece of content which is a good fit for that page, the third and final step is to reach out to that website and then try and get a backlink. So I'm going to show you the exact template I use when doing resource link building. So this is a resource template that I use when reaching out to websites. I simply send an email to the website owner. If they do have a contact form on the website, then I'll simply copy and paste this message and submit it on the contact form. However, let's imagine I'm sending an email to the website. The email subject line would be the top line, subject, question about the website. So I would actually replace the website with the name of the website. So the actual message itself says, "Hi name. I was Googling around for content about topic this morning when I came across your excellent resource page." Then I actually link to the resource page. Then I go on to say, "I just wanted to say that your page helped me a ton. I would have never found then I link to the resource they linked to without it. It's funny, I recently published a guide on topic last month. Then I give a brief description of what I published my content on. Here it is in case you'd like to check it out." Then I actually link to my page I'm referring to. Also, my guide might make a nice addition to your page. Either way, thanks for putting together your list of resources and have a great day. Talk soon, your name. So this works extremely well for me as I'm not really applying that much pressure. I'm not saying to the website owner, "Hey, you must include a link to my resource." I'm literally saying, "Hey, I came across your resource page. It is really, really good. I actually have a piece of content on my website which will make a great addition to your resource page. Feel free to include it in your resource page, but if not, no worries and have a great day." So as a result, there's no pressure applied, and 9 times out of 10, the websites will actually update the resource page to include a link to your website. So this is what I use and it works extremely well. Feel free to screenshot this, however, do modify it a little bit just to make it a little bit more unique to you. But essentially, that is how we carry out resource page link building. I'll see you in the next link building video. Strategy number 5, broken link building. Broken link building is an all-time favorite of many link builders. Why? Instead of straight up begging for links, with broken link building, you can actually add value to someone else's website. It's quite similar to resource link building in the fact that it has the same amount of steps. So step 1 is going to be find relevant resource pages. The reason we opt to go for a resource page instead of a standard blog post is, as you would have seen in the last video, resource pages typically have the most links on a page, which in theory means it's way more likely for this page to have a broken link than any other page on that site. So step 1 is find relevant resource pages. Step 2 is find broken links on that page. And then step 3 is reach out to those websites and let them know about the broken links and ask them to link to your content instead. So let's look at step 1 in a bit more detail. I'm going to go through this very quickly as I've gone through this already in the last video. However, as you can see, we use Google search operators to find resource pages. It's exactly the same process and we use exactly the same Google search operators as we used before in the resource link building video. So it's time for a live example. So let's go over to Google and find some resource pages. So as you can see, I'm over on Google. So the first thing I want to do is find some resource pages. Again, I've just used a simple Google search operator, one that I've used in the past. And for the example for this method, I'm going to pretend I own a gluten-free blog. So I'm going to change the word niche by gluten-free and then click search. And now you can see Google has returned all of these websites, which are all relevant and are about gluten-free. So I've got the top one called authenticfoods.com. So let's give this an open. So I've now found a resource page which is relevant to my website. So all I want to do now is find a broken link on this website. So instead of me checking each link manually, opening a new tab and then checking if it works, if it doesn't work, what you can actually do, let's go back on that, sorry. So like I said, instead of opening every link individually, this isn't, that much fun. As you can see, this one's fine. This one has a privacy error. This one's loaded, it just takes too much time. So what you can actually do is install this free Google Chrome extension. It's called Check My Links. To find it, simply just go over to Google and type in Check My Links Chrome extension, and you should find it number 1, which is this one right here. Give that an open, and it should open the same page I just showed you. So what you want to do is open this page and then install the Chrome extension. Once you have it installed in your browser, it will look like this. You'll have this little icon appear up here. And essentially, once you have this installed, you can go over to any resource page or any page in that matter and simply give it a click, and it will scan every single link on that page and tell you if the URL is valid or if it is invalid. So we want the ones that are invalid. So there's currently 4 links which are invalid on this page, which is great because it's the first website I actually clicked. So we've got this one right here, which is invalid, and this is under gluten-free communities online. And like I said, in this example, I own a gluten-free blog, not a community, so this isn't probably a good fit for me. We've got some gluten-free blogs down here, which is really good. And out of the list they have this one and this one, which is invalid because they're both red. So if we open this in a new tab, just to prove these websites don't actually work, we've got a WordPress error for this one, Authentic Foods. And we also have an error for Book of Yum. Again, both pages don't work. However, the website owner might not be aware of this. So this is where we can come in and let them know about the broken link and give them an alternative. So let's copy this URL right now. And let's go back over to our PowerPoint slides and I'll talk you through the next step, as we've already found a website with a broken link, which is a perfect fit for us. So now we've found a relevant website with a broken link. What we need to do now is simply reach out to the website and make them aware of that and get them to link to our content instead. So this is the template I typically send out when I find websites with broken links on them. So it's very simple and straight to the point. It says, "Hi name, are you still updating your site? I was searching for content on topic when I came across your excellent page, link to the resource page. However, I noticed a few links didn't seem to be working. List of broken links. I recently published some content on my blog which covers exactly what the broken link should have, but in more detail. It would make a great replacement, then I link to the broken link. Either way, I hope this helped you out. Thanks, your name." So there's not that much pressure at all I'm applying in this email. It's pretty laid back. However, I'm adding tons of value. I'm letting the owner know that one of the links on the website is broken, and I'm also giving them an alternative to link out to, which is actually better than the original one. So it's a win-win for me and a win-win for them. So a great situation to be in. So essentially, that is how you carry out a broken link building campaign. The skyscraper technique is a link building strategy where you improve existing popular content and then replicate the backlinks. This works extremely well as we're going to be creating content which we know is already popular, and then reach out to those websites linking to the original content and then ask them to link to our website too. So this works good for 2 reasons. The first is that we're creating something we know people already link to, so the whole process is valid and already verified. And number 2, we're reaching out to the same people who have already shown interest in linking to similar content. So the chances of them linking to your new content is going to be quite high. Essentially, this tactic builds on the natural human tendency to be attracted to the best. So there's 3 steps to the skyscraper technique. The first step is you want to find a relevant piece of content with tons of backlinks. The second is you want to create something that's way better. And the third is you want to ask those linking to the original piece of content to link to your superior content instead. So let's go over to Google now, and I'll show you how we can find a piece of content with tons of backlinks in your industry. So I'm now over on Google, and for the purpose of this training video, let's imagine I own a fitness blog which specializes in how to lose weight, weight loss plans, diet tips, and so on and so on. So the whole blog is focused on weight loss and how you can improve your overall health. So what I want to do is find some content which is extremely popular in my industry and has lots of backlinks. So to find the articles with the most links, you want to search one of your keywords, but you want to go for your most broadest or your most short tail keyword. So in my example, I could go for weight loss, or you can even go for how to lose weight. Notice how I'm keeping both of my keywords really broad, and I'm not going for how to lose weight for men's over 50. We don't want to do that, because when you go too specific, what actually happens is Google returns you fewer websites, and these websites are typically less popular, meaning they have less backlinks. Now remember, the main aim here is to find popular content that has the most amount of backlinks. So what I'm going to do is remove for men's over 50 and simply search for how to lose weight. And as you can see, Google has returned 949,000 different search results to us. So let's scroll down and have a look at some of these results. In position 1, we have 12 tips to help you lose weight by NHS. We have start the NHS weight loss plan. We have how to lose weight, top 18 simple tips. We've got how to lose weight fast, 10 smart ways, tons and tons of articles. You can even go on page 2 to find more article ideas as well. As we've gone for a broad keyword, literally the first 5 pages are all going to be relevant. We've got how to lose weight fast, 14 ways to drop 5 pounds a week, and so on and so on. So essentially what you want to do is go through page 1 and page 2 and find an article which you believe is going to be popular based on the title name. So this is one of the articles I found. It's by redbookmag.com, and it says 35 ways to lose weight fast and burn fat even faster. I really like this article. It sounds much better than the ones we saw on page 1, as I'm pretty sure the ones we saw on page 1 were like 12 tips to lose weight. So we've got 12, 18, 10, where this article is 35 ways. So it covers a lot more ways people can use to lose weight. However, just because I think the title sounds great, it doesn't mean it's a great fit for us. So what I want to do is take the whole website URL, go over to SEMrush, and then carry out a search for that within SEMrush to figure out exactly how many backlinks this particular page has. So this page in particular has 378 backlinks from 112 different websites. So this is a really good sign. So whenever you're looking for popular pieces of content on the internet, you always want to make sure you have at least 80 referring domains. So this has 112. So this is above our threshold by 32. So this piece of content is actually a really good fit for us, and we can actually base our skyscraper technique all upon this piece of content. So now we found a popular piece of content with tons of backlinks. That is it for step 1, and it's time to move on to step 2. So now we found the content we want to beat. The next step is to create something better, take it to the next level, and make it epic. There are 4 ways you can do that. The first is length. If the post lists 25 tips, beat it by listing more. Freshness. Check to see if the article is outdated. If it is, you can update it with newer images, screenshots, and more information. Check out the design. Content isn't just about words. The visual appeal matters too. Make sure the design stands out. Depth. Don't just list out things. Fill in the details and make it actionable. That's all good advice, but don't fall into the trap of doing things just for the sake of it. For example, adding 25 mediocre tips to an existing list of 25 excellent tips isn't going to be an improvement. Sure, your new version might be lengthier, but it's not adding any real value. It's the same story for other improvements too. Adding a few low quality illustrations isn't going to add way more value to the article. Nor is creating a more up-to-date guide to, say, changing an oil in your car, something that hasn't changed much over the years. Bottom line, always think through whether improving any of these aspects genuinely adds value. So let's head over to the article we found earlier and just see how we can improve it to make it even better. So we're now back over looking at the same article, and like I said, one of the first things you can do to improve it is going to be length. So let's work out the length for this article. So I'm going to show you exactly how you do that now. So you want to go over to this website called wordcounter.net, and essentially what you can do is copy and paste the words from another page into it, and it will tell you how many words that page is. So unfortunately for this example, to read the content, you actually have to view it like this, one by one, and then copy that and then paste it into word counter, and then go to the next slide, so 1 of 35, and do the same thing. So typically most content won't be like this. It will be on a standard blog post format. So for me, I have to do this manually. So I'm not going to sit here and do all 35 of them. I don't want to waste your time and bore you, but essentially you get the idea. You want to figure out how long the content is and see if you can make yours a little bit longer and more up to date. So an easy way you can do that is, like I said in this list, this talks about 35 ways to lose weight fast. In my new improved content, I can say 40 ways to lose weight. So I'm adding more value because I'm adding 5 more steps. Again, just make sure the additional 5 steps you add are actually valuable and you're not just adding them for the sake of it, just to have a longer list. So the second part I mentioned was freshness. So as you can see, this article came out on the 12th of March 2018. We're currently in 2020, so 2 years ahead of when this came out. So there could be a lot of new information we can include in our article, which wasn't available when this person published the article. The third thing was design. So personally, I'm not a fan of the design of this page. It's kind of like you click on a page to read the article and just sliding through one little section. The whole page isn't about this. So in my personal opinion, I do believe we can improve on the design of this page for our content. And the fourth part was depth. So again, just going through the content. So we can see there is actually a bit of depth to this content. The reason I say that is because they don't just list start meal prepping. They give you a bit more information about meal prepping, how it works, and the all ins and outs of it. So again, we probably can't improve on the depth that much. However, saying that, some of these are very broad. Talk to your doctor, and we have like 4 or 5 sentences right here. And then we have love your body, again, very short. So potentially we can actually improve on the depth as well. So now we've covered how to improve the content. It's time to move on to the next step. Okay, so far we've covered how to find popular content, and we've also covered how you can improve that content to make yours more superior. So it's time to move over to the last phase now, which is to go out there and actually acquire the backlinks. So please do bear in mind, before you actually go over to this step, you do actually need to have your superior content produced before you actually go out there and message sites. So do keep that in the back of your mind. So if you haven't actually produced your content already, you might want to go and do that now. Once you have it, then you can move over to step 3. So let's just imagine you actually produced your amazing content and it's the best on the internet. You are now on step 3, which is acquire the links. So let's head back over to SEMrush and figure out what websites in particular are linking to this original piece of content. So this is the content we have originally. So all we need to do is plug this into SEMrush, which I've already done, and then go over to the backlinks to see all the websites which are linking to this piece of content. So as you can see, we have 378 backlinks in total. However, at the moment, we have links per referring domain set to all. So what we want to do is change that to 1, just to be sure we are seeing 1 link per domain. That has now dropped to 112. And of course, we only want to see the backlinks which are do follow. So let's go ahead and click follow. That 112 has dropped to 95, which is still above our threshold of 80. So all things are still looking really good. So you can review all the links here and see what's going on. However, what I find is a lot more easier is if you actually export all these backlinks and then delete the columns you don't actually need. So let's go ahead and click export up here on the right hand side. We're going to go for Excel, and this is going to download all of this backlink information. So let's go ahead and open this file. Once you open the spreadsheet, it's going to look pretty similar to this. Now, don't worry about all the information you see. It can be very easy to get overwhelmed. However, the only 2 columns we need is actually column C and column D. So all the other columns you can actually delete from your spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and delete those. We'll delete column A and we'll delete column B. So what we are left with is 2 columns, which is the source URL. I'll make that a bit smaller so you can see this as well. And we have the other column, which is the target URL. So essentially what this tells us all of the websites which are linking to the content. So we've got meta99.com, Good Housekeeping, Diet Stamp, Cosmopolitan, Women's Day, and so on and so on. So essentially all we need to do is reach out to all of these websites that are linking to the original content and let them know about our superior content and ask them to link to us instead. So let's head back to the PowerPoint slides and I'll show you exactly the message we can send to these websites to get them to link to our piece of content instead. So this is the template we send to these websites. It's a very simple template, but yet it is very, very effective. So it simply says, "Hey name, I was searching for some articles about your topic today and I came across this page." So where it says your topic, you would simply fill in the topic you search for. So for me, it would be how to lose weight. I was searching for some articles about how to lose weight today and I came across this page, URL. The URL which you're going to enter here is going to be the URL from the first column on the spreadsheet. So this column right here, the source URL. So the URL on their website, which is linking to the content. I noticed that you linked to one of my favorite articles, brackets article title. So where it says article titles in brackets, what you are going to want to do is simply enter the name of the article that you are competing with. So in this instance, it's going to be 35 ways to lose weight fast and burn fat even faster. Just wanted to give you a heads up that I created a similar article. It's like the name of article. So again, the same article we mentioned above, but more thorough and up to date. URL. This URL will be a URL to your new improved superior content. It might be worth a mention on your page. Either way, keep up the awesome work. Cheers, your name. So as you can see, I'm not too forceful at all in this email. I'm quite laid back. I'm just letting them know that I found the article on the web. It's a really good article. However, on my website, I actually have one which is even better and far superior, so it would be worth a mention on your page. But if not, either way, keep up the awesome work. This is the template we use and we get such good results from it. I highly recommend you use it as well. However, make sure you personalize it a little bit. The main message you want to get across is that you have something very similar to what they link to. However, your content is far superior. So that is essentially how you carry out the skyscraper technique. There is a lot of work involved in the beginning stages, such as finding the content, the backlinks, and then reaching out to the websites. However, I highly recommend it, as the websites you are competing with will not go to this extent to get backlinks, which means if you go that extra length, you are going to have one thing in your arsenal which they don't have, giving you a better chance to rank higher in Google. I'll see you in the next link building video. Strategy number 7, reverse image search. If you publish visual assets such as infographics and charts, there are probably tons of websites out there using your images right now without giving you attribution. You can use a Google reverse image search to find all the websites who are using your images and then reach out to all of them and ask them to link back to your website as a source or a credit. So as you're probably already aware from your own website, when it comes to finding images for your website, it's not the easiest thing to do. A lot of us go over to Google Images or free websites such as Pixabay. However, if you do opt for the first option and use Google Images, then those images aren't royalty free. So you're actually using someone else's images without their permission. So a lot of websites unfortunately actually do this, and if you find the ones that are using your images, you can reach out to them and say, "Hey, link back to me as a credit, otherwise can you please remove the image from your website?" So I'm going to show you exactly how you can find all the websites using your images. And just a word of warning, this only works if the image is unique to you. So it has to be your image. You can't get the image from someone else's website, put it on your website, and then reach out to another website and say, "Hey, that's my image." It needs to be your image. So let's go over to Google for a live walkthrough, and I'll show you exactly how we can find all the websites using our images. Right, so I'm now on images.google.com. Very important that you're on this URL. If you're on the standard Google URL, then you won't actually have the option to upload an image. So as you can see on images.google.com, we have the option to upload an image. So we can search the whole of Google for all images that are similar to the one we upload. So for example, in this video, I'm going to be using a website I own called Level Finish, which is basically just a floor contracting website. So I've just gone on my carpet installation page and I've opted to go for this image. I've already saved it to my desktop, ready to upload. Just a note as well, this image actually did come from Pixabay, so it is actually a royalty-free image. So I am expecting to get tons of results of other websites using this image as well. So like I said before, do bear in mind when you do pick an image off your website, it needs to be an image that is unique to you. If you use a standard one like I'm going to do right now, then you're going to get tons and tons of results and you won't be able to reach out to the websites and claim that attribution as the main image source. So like I said, I've saved this over on my desktop already. So I'm going to go back to Google Images and then click search by image. click upload an image, choose file, and then select my image of the carpet and then click open. So this is now going to search the whole of Google, every single website, and return all the websites that are using this image on the website. So let's just scroll down. We can see we've got very similar images as well. We've got 5-star rated. We've got Amazon. I'm going to ignore Amazon. Let's look at this one right here, 5-star rated. And you can see it's a standard blog post. Why does my carpet smell worse after cleaning? Which is quite an interesting topic. And as you can see, they're using the same image that I'm using on my website on Level Finish. So again, if this was actually my image and I took it of a carpet in my home or one of my clients' home, I can actually reach out to this website, go on the contact page and just say, hey, I've noticed you guys are using one of my images on your website. And then I would copy the URL for reference and I would simply ask them to credit me as a source for this image. And if they don't do that, can you please remove the image off the website, as it is my image and I have full ownership over that. So as you can see, you can actually go over to Google and get tons and tons of different websites all using the image on there. So it's actually a really good link building method to get tons of links for your website. Just do bear in mind, for this to work, you need to have unique images that are popular, or you need to be posting tons of infographics and charts. Just give it information about stuff within your industry. So that is it for strategy 9. I'll see you in the next video for strategy number 10. Strategy number 8, relevant blog commenting. For this strategy to work, what you need to do is find relevant blogs in your industry that have blogs which allow you to comment on them. So the key here is allowing you to comment on them. So these links in general, they aren't the most authoritative. However, they do help you diversify your backlink profile and they do help push more relevancy to your website, which is a super important thing, as we discussed multiple times already. So let's head over to Google now and I'll show you exactly how we can find these blogs. So as you can see, I'm over on Google, and for the example of this link building strategy, I'm going to use my actual website, so ClickSlice, which is an SEO agency. I thought it would be good to use my website as an example, as I know a lot of you taking this course will actually want to start your own SEO agencies, so showing you a strategy from an SEO perspective will be really helpful. So let's go over to Google. So you simply just want to type in best SEO blogs. However, if you're targeting a different industry, such as music, you might want to take SEO and put best music blogs, best pet dogs, best health blogs, best fitness blogs, and so on and so on. So I'm going to go for best SEO blogs and then click search. And as you can see, Google has returned tons of results to me, all to do with SEO blogs. In position 1, we actually have Ahrefs, 29 awesome SEO blogs to follow. So I'm actually going to look at this one as they've already done the work for me. Instead of me finding 29 blogs manually scrolling down, this is actually a summary and a roundup of 29 awesome SEO blogs. So let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. 29 awesome SEO blogs to follow. So let's scroll down and see the list. So you've got number 1, Backlinko. We have number 2, Ahrefs, which I'm going to ignore that one as we're already on Ahrefs. And then we have Moz. Let's look at Moz. And in position 4, we have another website called Search Engine Watch. So let's look at these 2 websites. So let's go over to Moz, and we have this article right here, Marketing in Times of Uncertainty. Let's have a look at that one and see if there's an option to add a comment. So let's scroll down to the bottom, because normally the comment section is at the bottom of the articles. And as you can see, there's tons of comments on this blog, which means we can also add a comment as well. So as you can see, add a comment and give that a click, and it gives us the option to add a comment on this blog. Do bear in mind, when you add a comment, you don't just want to say anything to get a link back to your site. You want to at least comment on what the article is about. So this article is about marketing in times of uncertainty. So if I want to get a link back to my SEO agency, what I need to do is mention my agency in there naturally. So in this example, what I can actually do is say, yes, I totally agree with you. I can't spell today. I've been working really hard to grow my agency in these difficult times. And then when I have grow my agency, I would simply select that and then click link and then put in insert link and put a link into my website, which I'm just going to copy up here. Copy that and then go back to the tab and simply paste it in and then click insert and then click submit. Actually, I'll tick this box. Email me when new comments are posted. Actually, I'm going to untick that. I don't want any more emails in my inbox, and then click submit. And typically you have to go through a process. This comment hit Roger's moderation filter, so as you can see, because I've included a link, it's now flagged up. This is why you want to make sure when you put your link in, it comes across natural. So in this instance, I've just put it very short as one sentence. I do actually recommend you actually read the article and put a proper response and then get your link in there. That way you can be certain your link will get approved. So let's look at the second website, which is searchenginewatch.com. Let's look at this most recent blog post and just scroll down again, see if they have an option to add a comment. Don't think they do. Nope. So in this instance, there's no option to add a comment on the blogs. So this isn't a good fit for us. So as you can see, some websites do accept comments and some don't. So it's all about going out there and then finding all the blogs which do accept comments and then actually publish a comment. This is a very easy strategy to implement. It does take a little bit of time as you have to read the articles properly to ensure your comments will get approved. Strategy number 9. Social profile link building. This strategy involves going into your social media accounts and adding a link to your website within your bio. So as you can see, I'm on the social media account for Level Finish. This is actually our Twitter account. So if you didn't already know, Level Finish is essentially just a flooring contracting website that I own. I've gone into the bio and I've added a link back to our website. So these links, they aren't the most authoritative out there. However, they are the basics and every website should have social media accounts. So as a result, they should have social media links pointing back to the website too. So if you have a lot of time on your hands, what you can do is simply go over to Google and type in list of top 100 social media sites. You can even do top 50 sites, top 200, top 300 social media sites, and literally sign up to every single one of them, add a bio and link back to your website. However, if you don't have that much time on your hand and you do have a bit of capital to play with, what you can actually do is go over to this website right here called Fiverr.com. I don't usually recommend Fiverr.com, as from my experience in the past, the quality of work is really low. However, as it's something so simple like creating a social media account, this shouldn't be a problem using Fiverr for a service like this. So as you can see, I went over to Fiverr and I simply searched for create social media profiles. As you can scroll down, you can see there's lots of results on here. The one I've used in the past isn't actually here anymore. However, this one does look really good. I will create 300 social media profile accounts, high PR, SEO backlinks. It's only £4.29. So do bear in mind, do ignore what the listing actually says about SEO boost and high DR, high PR. You know, it's probably not true and it won't do that much effect on your SEO. However, the main benefit of this is that they can create 300 profiles for you whilst you can carry on and actually build more backlinks, maybe using guest posting, blog commenting or stuff like that. One thing to note as well, if you do decide to go for Fiverr, do make sure the person you use actually has good reviews. So this seller in total, you can see he's got 160 reviews and he has 12 orders in the queue. So he's very popular, so he must do good work. So that brings this one to an end, and that is essentially how you can use social media accounts to build backlinks back to your website.